Yes, Africa 24, and of course, this is your daily political show that happens here in Africa 24. And we are going to discuss what next after Gachagua impeachment. So we are having Buru here, Geoffrey Buru here, and he's going to give us his sentiments. And of course, if you are joining the conversation for the first time, welcome you so that you can share your views, ideas, and also what is happening in this country. After what we witnessed the other day, Gachagua being impeached by the parliament, waiting for the next step, the Senate and also the High Court. If then they approve that Gachagua is going home, then that is the end of Rigathi Gachagua. We are going to discuss all those in Africa 24. So if you are joining us for the first time, you can engage there through the comment section there. You know, we have a lot of followers there joining us through Facebook, Instagram, and of course, YouTube. We are live. True TV live of 24 live. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, what you can request is that you go there, like, comment, and subscribe to our channel because that is the only way you can support us in this channel. Buru joined us today, and of course, you know, we have a lot of political tensions on who next, who is going to replace the best man, Rigathi Gachagua. The question that we're asking, is it high time for Kithure Kindiki to replace him? And of course, this is after some of the MCAs and people of Mount Kenya promised to support him, saying that he is the direct person whom they can use to talk to the president. Now the DP has been impeached by the parliament, waiting for Senate to impeach him. Is it the high time? So who's next? That is the question that we're asking here in Africa 24. And of course, don't forget, we have our loyal followers there, the likes of Awesome, Gibbs Icona, who really make this conversation very conducive. And of course, I want to get the opening remarks from Geoffrey Buru here.
Thank you so much, Bonnie, for inviting me to be part of this show today. And I want to say hi to our viewers. They make this show very beautiful. And I know we are going to have a good time discussing the politics of our country and especially what is going on about the impeachment of the Deputy President. And there is a question which you have asked, what next after the impeachment? And I want to say we are not yet reached there where to ask who is going to be the next Deputy President. What we can say, what if the process goes through. But according to my thinking, it is not going to be very easy to impeach Rigathi Gachagua. As you are aware, already the court has barred the president from appointing any other person until all the cases that will be filed by the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua will be determined. And you know, sometimes it can take a long time, even years, before such cases can be concluded. So when I told you people, the president underestimated the strength of the Deputy President. Apart from the courage of the Deputy President, he has money. He can sustain any kind of a case. He can hire the topmost lawyers in our country. So Ruto will find it very rough and very hard to succeed in impeaching or sending home Rigathi Gachagua. And one of the reasons why I feel that Rigathi Gachagua will be having a strong ground to refuse his impeachment is how the parliament process was handled. And I know the people who are listening to us, they also have this question. What does it mean when we talk of public participation? How is it supposed to be handled? Are the views of the electorate considered in the impeachment process? If yes, was the process fair? Was the process open? Was the process credible? So that is one of the questions that I think the court will have to answer. Because what I saw is just people making noise for like one day of noise making and shouting and people saying whatever they want to say. And then after that, they say public participation is done. And I don't think the sentiments of Wajiko were considered before they could proceed with the impeachment motion in Parliament. If public participation is very important, then there should be a procedure and should be a fair process where those who are in support of Rigathi Gachagua should be considered. What is the number of those who are saying that they need Rigathi Gachagua to remain? What about those who are saying he should go? So that statistically we can say the majority have said this and the minority have said this. I don't think those things were considered. The whole process was a fraud. The whole process was chaotic. The whole process was being managed by the politicians who are behind the president. And still having said that, Bonnie, I want to tell you, the impeachment or the attempt to impeach the deputy president is the greatest mistake, the greatest miscalculation that our good president has made. Because especially in central Kenya today, you know, I'm a very honest person. In central Kenya right now, if there is someone who is hated, it's William Ruto, followed by Kimani Ichung'wah. Those two guys right now, you talk of Ichung'wah, you mention Ichung'wah, and nobody wants to hear about him. Those people who supported, especially from central Kenya, supported the impeachment of the deputy president who fight it very hard to regain their seats come 2027. And because I don't see the president succeeding in sending his deputy home, you also have a very hard time with Rigathi Gachagua. Because after this, Rigathi will have now to put down the strategies of either working well or frustrating the president. So the same fate or the same way Ruto handled Uhuru is the same way Rigathi Gachagua is going to handle Ruto. It is tit for tat. And I think God is paying Ruto for what he did to Uhuru. Okay, for me, I said it was okay. But I think Ruto will have a very hard time with Rigathi Gachagua. And the impeachment of the deputy president is not something that is very simple. Thank you, Bonnie.
Vuru is saying that the impeachment of deputy president is something that is not easy. But this is Kenya, whereby things happen any day at any time. Maybe president might come back and say that let's stop this thing. Maybe he might have seen what is happening in the atmosphere and then come back and say it is not going to happen. Let's go back and solve these things.
Bonnie, do you know what is happening? Right now, the members of parliament are behind the president, but they went alone. They didn't go with common mwananchi. Almost the same mistake that Uhuru Kenyatta made, where some MPs told him you can do anything, people love you so much, and people cannot leave you. Right now, the members of parliament, maybe because of what they have been given by the president, they are telling the president the ground is intact. And those who voted for you are still behind you. This is what will happen. All those MPs who supported the impeachment of the deputy president will be rejected in their backyard. And also William Ruto will get 0 votes. almost zero. Let me just use that. Almost zero votes from Central Region. Now, after losing such an important ground, because the president has lost his stronghold, because that was his base. Mount Kenya gave President Ruto almost 5 million votes, 4 million and above. Imagine now, those 4 million votes are already gone. And he is not sure of the support of the opposition, the ODM. He is not sure. Now, what if ODM refuses to work with him? If there is someone who has put his leadership in a very awkward position, is President William Ruto, because anytime Raila Odinga can go against him after losing such an important person of the caliber of Rigathi Gachagua. So if Rigathi Gachagua and Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta decides to work against William Ruto, it will be very hard for him even to finish his term. I don't know whether he is able to see the risk he has put himself into. I know he was deceived by the hungry members of parliament that Rigathi Gachagua is not popular. He was told that people don't want Rigathi Gachagua. But I can tell you, Bonnie, as someone who listens keenly to what people are saying on the ground, those people misled the president. And the president will find it very hard to regain his stronghold, Central Kenya. I am calling Central Kenya President's stronghold because that is the only region that gave him the majority of votes. You cannot compare what the president got from other regions, even including Rift Valley, to what he got in Central Kenya. But now he has messed himself up by thinking that he can do anything to the deputy and people remain happy. It doesn't matter the kind of explanation they are planning to come and give to people. I have seen the kinds of someone like Kawanjiko. Kawanjiko has already destroyed himself. He is a one-term member of parliament. He does not even understand politics, yet he is there shouting, criticizing the men who campaigned for him. Remember when this young boy was campaigning to become the member of parliament, the deputy president went and camped in his region to campaign for him. Actually, he was staying there to make sure that Kawajiko becomes the member of parliament. Even if everybody else can be against the deputy president, Kawajiko is not supposed to be one of them. At least he was supposed to remember that one thing that the deputy president did, to campaign for him to the extent that the people were saying Rigathi Gachagua is the father of MP Kawajiko. That is how people behave. You do them good, but they do bad things to you. Betty Maina, Rigathi Gachagua, a very busy deputy president, decided even to attend her dowry process. He actually even negotiating her dowry. The deputy president honored her, but she is dishonoring her. That is the nature of human beings. But I want to tell Kenyans, because many of you don't know Rigathi Gachagua, maybe you just know him because basing on how and what you hear the politicians say about him. And sometimes they take some things he says out of proportion. They distort what he meant just to taint his name. I have come to know Rigathi Gachagua as a very humble man. who doesn't care your class, who doesn't care where you come from. He treats all people with dignity. Yeah, before you put that video, let me finish what I was saying.
Yeah. Continue. That is the picture that we are talking about.
Yeah, I'll come there. That was just a by the way. I'll come there. So what I was saying is that the deputy president, because I have come to know him, is someone who is very humble to the extent that he doesn't care where you come from. If today, Bonnie, you want to talk to Rigathi Gachagua, he is so accessible that he will tell his security details, allow the young men to come and tell me what he wants. That is Rigathi Gachagua. He feels he is just like any other person. Bonnie, you are aware that 2 months ago, I lost my mother. Maybe I would have expected an MCA to come and give us condolences, or the member of parliament, but not the deputy president. But can I tell you something? Our governor, whom I campaigned for so much, I even had a Zoom meeting with him, with some other people. We campaigned for him vigorously, including my family members. He never appeared in the burial of my mom. The MPs, we never saw any of them. The MCAs, okay, some of them came. But you know, to the surprise, to our surprise, the deputy president appeared. Rigathi Gachagua. As simple as we are, we are commoners. But he came. Bonnie, is that the kind of a person we can say that he is inhuman? There is nothing he is expecting from us. But he came with all his security details and everything, and he graced the occasion. So when I say that people should remember that one thing that someone has done, Rigathi Gachagua has done so many good things to so many people. But how many remember those things? These are people who have money, but they are using their money to rehabilitate men who are dying, who are addicted of alcohol, spending everything to save lives, spending everything to save families with their money. You can imagine Bonnie, Rigathi Gachagua is a billionaire. And you can see what the wife has been done all these years, serving people. Not for tithe, because she already, the husband is already rich. He's a billionaire. But she has always been there, starting with people, starting with families, preaching the gospel. Then you tell me that I should join the president so that we can fight Rigathi Gachagua. I would be the last person to do that. I would be the last person to do that. So when you are told that I don't know, Rigathi Gachagua is so corrupt, I don't know, where does he want to take the money? That guy is always content with what he is having. Ruto is a billionaire. He is richer, 1,000,000 times richer than Rigathi Gachagua. But now he wants to tell us, oh, for me, I am so good. I am white as snow. But my deputy is a thief. We know who is a thief in Kenya. It's only that we decided to set a thief, to catch a thief. We know you, President Ruto. We know who you are, but we supported you. Not that you are so clean. We know you. We know that if we are to do audit, it is not that you are so smart to have worked so hard to earn all what you have. It's only that Kenyans decided to be lenient, that they know and we know who you are. You cannot tell us that Rigathi Gachagua is so tribal than you. Rigathi Gachagua has not appointed anyone. He has no such power. The power to appoint members of cabinet lies on the president. Parastatal heads and other positions, the person who appoints is the president. And what has he done? He has appointed largely people from his tribe. So when we are talking about tribalism, we cannot talk about tribalism without mentioning William Samoei Ruto. And even now, what he is trying to do is to continue with his tribalism by trying to kick away Rigathi Gachagua, who is saying, no, you have to include people of Mount Kenya because they supported you. When you are making those appointments, I know Rigathi Gachagua fights so hard to ensure that the people from where he comes from, the people who supported the president, also get a share. What is wrong with that? Politics is about interest. So, Bonnie, I feel so bad when I see people fighting a man who has no problem with anyone. He has just been doing his job. And I think by the grace of God, Rigathi Gachagua will prevail in this battle.
That is Buru saying that he feels so bad for Gachagua. And of course, I was some in the comment section there is saying that what next after approval of Gachagua impeachment is just speculation. Politics keep changing depending on the current political situation. It doesn't remain the same. That is awesome.
And can I tell you something, Bonnie? There are so many people who are hoping that after impeachment of the deputy president, they will get the position. Maybe Shongwa is fighting so hard, thinking that he might be the one. Other people are thinking it might be Dede Nyoro. Others are thinking it might be Kithure Kindiki. But they are surprised. They might be surprised and shocked when the president decides to give that position to people outside Mount Kenya region. So let them not celebrate impeaching Rigathi Gachagua, thinking that they are going to be given the position or someone from that region is going to get the position. And already the president has already messed the minds of the people. And the Mount Kenya people, if you don't know, they don't forgive and they don't forget, but they can persevere. They persevered the government of Moi without fighting him much. They concentrated with whatever they were doing, but they knew this guy has or was oppressing that community. They persevered Uhuru Kenyatta when he was fighting Ruto. But I want to tell Ruto, from now on, it's just coexisting. Even if you appoint Kithure Kindiki, you cannot regain the Mount Kenya region. The best you can do is to retain Rigathi Gachagua and then go with him and apologize to the people. Tell the people you were misled. Without Gachagua being the deputy president, Ruto will have messed big time, especially when it comes to the votes of Mount Kenya. And mark my words, because I don't fear telling people the truth. You know, in 2021, 2020, 2019, I've been to Motembei TV. And I told the people, William Ruto is going to be the president. I told the people, Gachagua is going to be the deputy. It's not prophecy. I am just a critical thinker, and I also listen to what people are saying. So already the president has messed his stronghold. And the only way to regain that stronghold is to retain Gachagua, then go with Gachagua to the people and talk to the people. That is the only way he can retain the popularity in Central Kenya. Let him make a mistake of kicking Gachagua out, then he should forget the support of Central Kenya people. That is not me. Me, I don't care. In most cases, I don't even vote. I don't even stay in Kenya. But I'm just giving this as a free advice to the president that Ishongwa, Kawajiko, I don't know, Betty, I don't know who, they are misleading you, our good president. I wish you can listen and know these people who are telling me that the ground is okay, they don't care. They have messed themselves. They have also messed the president. Today, if Raila withdraws his support from the president, he will be a very weak president, and it will be very hard for him to finish five years. That's what I think. Oh, yes.
That is Boro saying they might come together. And of course, the president gives that direction, then he's going to save his presidential seat for 2027. Gives a corner in the comment section there saying that, sorry to say, I think Raila is still helping Ruto follow the strings behind the scenes. That is Gives a corner in the comment section. Gives a corner, my good friend, is saying that Raila is helping Ruto pull the strings. Breaking news, ATV, is that MPs were paid to impeach Ruto. They have money to impeach Ruto. That is someone in the comment section. How do you have the scrutiny of the information that they were paid to impeach Ruto? So remember, this is
No,
Africa 24.
I think that person meant to impeach Gachagua. I think he meant MPs were paid to impeach Gachagua, which is common sense.
Yeah, to impeach
in that parliament, there is no motion that goes through scot-free, that they are just doing their job. Those are hungry hyenas. They get paid to pass motions. Remember Moses Kuria with the gray envelope? Even showed Kenyans what happens in parliament. So we should not be deceived that the members of parliament hate the deputy president so much. But you know, Ruto, we know you, Mr. President. You are very corrupt. But for me, I thought, basing on how our president was talking during campaign and the strategies he had of uplifting the economy of Kenya, of the young people, of the mama bogas and boda bodas, I thought Kenya would be a total different country through the leadership of Samuel Ruto. I was so optimistic that Kenya was going to change. But as a staunch supporter, I can say I am so much disappointed, especially after coming to the ground and seeing how people are suffering, how commodities are expensive, how our roads are not being repaired. you know, I spent a lot of money to fix my dad's car, a lot of money because of potholes. The car was making noise, and it's a new car, but it was making noise everywhere. It was like a wheelbarrow. And I was like, what happened to the car? It was like this is because of our bad roads. So in Kenya, people are always in the garage to fix their cars. And I don't think the government cares. Right now, the president is supposed to be so much focused. This is third year now. This is that year. And Bonnie, you know how much I have stood with Ruto. If someone is to ask me, do you think that Ruto has performed to the expectation of Kenyans or of voters so far. 2 years, 3 years down the line, I can tell you he has underperformed. One, because of the challenges he was having with the opposition, the challenges of Gen Zs, and also how he found the economy. But now, instead of focusing at least to seal his legacy, he is there creating wars, unnecessary wars. Because even if he appoints Kidiki, because people are asking what next after the impeachment of the Deputy President Gachagua, how will the appointment of Gachagua, of Kidiki, help in the revival of our economy? How? How will Kidiki will help in any way the common mwananchi? If anything, he is a very weak politician, very weak, extremely weak, without ambition, a coward who can tell the president anything when he is wrong. And that is the kind of a person that the president wants. So Kenyans, let me tell you, Gachagua may not be good to Ruto, but he is good for us. He may not be so popular to the members of parliament, but he should be popular to us, the common mwananchi, because that is the only person who is standing with us. This is someone who does not have many family members. Many of them are dead, and he only has 2 kids, and the kids are doing well. And he doesn't care about having billions and millions, and that is why they spend their money helping the people. So he might not be perfect, but at least he is the only truthful man. He is the only truthful politician that we have in Kenya, who can tell the president that, this tender of Adani is not straightforward. It has not followed the process. Why are we giving this person our airport? Why can't we open this tender for people to compete so that we can get the best out of our airport? I don't think there is any other person who can tell the president that. It is only Rigathi Gachagua. And I'm not just praising him. I like speaking the truth. Who can tell the president, remember, Mr. President, we promised that we will never entertain government kidnappings. That now what we are doing is wrong because it is contrary to what we promised the people of Kenya. It is only Gachagua who can do that. Who can stand and tell the president, don't kidnap innocent Kenyans. It is only Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. And when I say it, he is the only one. Nobody else can dare tell Ruto such kind of thing. Who can stand and tell president, we promised Kenyans that there will be no extrajudicial killing, but now, president, your government, your police officers are killing innocent young people. Young people, citizens of the Republic of Kenya, were killed, crushed by the government of William Ruto. The only person who stood with Kenyans was Rigathi Gachagua. He is the only one who told the president that the kind of evictions that are happening in Kenya are conducted in an inhuman way. That 10,000 is very little. You destroy somebody's house, you relocate someone, then you give that person 10,000 to do what? Yet President William Ruto said that they will never make the mistakes of the previous government. Kenyans, when I hear people criticize Rigathi Gachagua, abusing him, I wonder, what kind of a leader do you want? Do you want someone, when they are demolishing the house, someone who should continue cheering the president? You are doing the right thing. For me, I think it is good to have Rigathi Gachagua there, because we don't even have the opposition. We need someone who can tell the president the truth, that some of your decisions are not right. So when Gachagua is being crucified by the corrupt members of parliament, we, the common people, the commoners, we should not join them in crucifying a good man. We should start with the deputy president and continue to ask our members of parliament to be also truthful. I listened to the motion, to the kind of argument. There is nowhere the deputy president was accused of insubordination. Insubordination is when he is being given duties by the president and then he refuses. That is disobedience. He has never at any given time disobeyed the president. Any time he has been sent out, he has gone to discuss about coffee. We had a meeting here in US. He has gone to many other countries trying to fight for our coffee farmers and tea farmers to get good prices for their commodities. Is that the person that we should impeach? Remember the kind of conflict that was there between the governor and the previous government. But Rigathi Gachagua has always ensured there is unity, because he was given that duty by the president to ensure there is unity between the national government and the county governments. He has performed that with excellence. Rigathi Gachagua has fought alcoholism in Kenya and drugs to the extent that people are celebrating. And those who have been selling poison to our young people and to the people of Kenya are not happy with him. That is why they have even given money to ensure that he is impeached. Remember what happened to Mutudo. When Mutudo fought drug lords, fought alcoholism, he was fought so much that today we don't hear about Mutudo. Kenyans, don't make the same mistake. Stand with the one who stands with you. Pray for him if there is nothing else you can do. But also make sure your voice is heard. Don't allow the president to be a dictator, that whatever he wants must happen, that he should not be questioned. We are in the 21st century where our voices should be heard and nobody should be silenced, because power belongs to the people. If only the people of Kenya can know how powerful they are, they can stop the members of parliament from being corrupt, the senators from being corrupt, the governors from being corrupt. If only we, the citizens, can work together, these leaders can be afraid of doing evil they have been doing all these years. But what happens? They fight good people and we join them, saying because they belong to our tribes, we join them to fight good people. P.R.O. Lumumba was fought when he was in the anti-corruption position, because he is a truthful man. But when they were fighting P.R.O. Lumumba, nobody spoke about him. Mutudo was fought so much when he was, I think, the head of Nakada. They fought him from all directions. because he was fighting evil. What happened? Kenyans never defended Mutudo. Right now they are fighting Gachagua, the only man who has been starting with common mwananchi. And I'm not ashamed to say that, because this man touched me in a special way. Someone that I did not expect that he can come to our home. He appeared, Kimanzi, with his wife. I mean, we are just commoners. We are just hustlers. Who are we to have the president in our house, the deputy president in our house? So when I see people fighting such kind of a man, I say, you guys, it is because you don't know who he is. But if only you can know that he is the most accessible guy who don't have to be invited to go and help people, who feels bad when he sees his people being oppressed. He is the only good guy we have in Kenya, in leadership today. But this is the person we are all joining hands to crucify. I refuse the invitation to crucify a good man. Yes, Bonnie.
Guru is saying that he is not accepting this situation whereby Gachagua is being humiliated by the president. And when I see the comment section there, I can see breaking news is saying that he personally voted for Ruto, but he is not happy with what is happening. He is not happy whereby Gachagua has been subjected to this kind of humiliation. That is what he's saying. Gibbs Icona is saying that Jeff, there is no freedom of speech in Kenya. It's not a democratic country. We have to tread carefully while questioning the government. Otherwise, we have the fear of disappearing or being kidnapped. That is Gibbs Icona saying that, why do you think he likes quick running mates? Someone he can run, he can overrun. That is Gibbs Icona there saying, we don't have freedom of speech in this country. You may be kidnapped, you might be.
The only president who allowed the people to have freedom of speech was Mwai Kibaki. Because Kibaki didn't care much about criticism, about being abused by the people, about who is becoming popular or who is building himself politically. But this Ruto is worse than Uhuru Kenyatta. He had promised that he was going to protect the freedom of speech. But when I see someone like Morara being taken to court, then I ask myself, what has this young guy, what has he done? Nothing. Nothing at all. If there is someone who is careful with his words, it's Morara. If there is someone who does not even go outside, there are people when they are talking, they don't know what to say and when. Morara is a young guy of 28 years, but he is very careful than any other politician in Kenya. Ruto is a coward. He was criticized by Raila Odinga. Why didn't he arrest Raila Odinga? But he is arresting people like Morara because he knows they are not strong enough. They don't have finances. They are likely to fear. It is called intimidation, which is very bad. And I support Morara when he says, I think I should take a break a little bit and reflect and re-strategize. But Kenyans, listen to me. You might say, I saw people criticizing him when he said, you Kenyans, I am fighting for you. But when I'm in trouble, you don't come to my rescue. We should start with this man. We should start with anybody who is saying, let us force this government to be accountable. This young man, Morara, has done a good job. He has shown us projects that the president launched and promising they are going to complete those projects. But up to date, they have done nothing. Lies and deception, deceiving Kenyans that there is something happening when they are doing almost nothing. So who else can have the guts to show Kenyans the truth? So the expectation of that young man is that he is going to hold the horns. But we should also persevere the kicks. Don't think that Ruto will just watch him when he is showing the public his lies. We should support him to the level whereby the government cannot destroy him. But right now, because he is not very popular, if we don't support him, if we don't make him a strong man, they can do anything to him. How many people can do the work that Morara has done? Do you know, even in the president's platform, they deleted those projects, those things they were saying they had done, yet they had not done. They deleted them. Why? Because of the fear of exposure. So if only we can have 10 Morara in Kenya, Kenya can be in a better position. If only we can be coming here and tell the president the truth, knowing that we voted for him, and I don't regret, because the option was even worse. We had no choice. We had to choose between Raila Amolo Odinga and William Ruto. Even today, if the only two options we have, it is either I don't vote or I vote for Ruto. That's me. So by saying that I am unhappy with President Ruto does not mean I support Raila Odinga. I don't, for my own reasons. But I'm saying this, criticizing the government is not bad. We have to tell the president where he is failing, that he is supposed to be concentrating, building roads. He should be concentrating, building the economy. But now, what he is doing now is just wastage of time and resources. They will fight with Gachagua for the next 2 years and 3 years. Who will suffer? It's not Ruto. The only suffering he will have is that he will fall in 2027. The only suffering he will have is that he will have left no legacy. But the economy of Kenya and the people of Kenya will suffer severely because of the war between the president and the deputy. Unnecessary war. What for? Is there anything that the president has been wanting to do development-wise and the deputy stopped him? Nothing. Is there anything the president has told the deputy to do and the deputy has refused? Nothing. So, Ruto, President Ruto, I told Kenyans how smart you are, how intelligent you are. I told Kenyans that you are a genius, but you are disappointing me, especially with this war with your deputy. You are ashaming me because people are saying, is this Jeff? We campaigned for you, especially in diaspora. We raised money, and I know when I say that, the president knows. Kimanzi diaspora raised money. We paid agents to ensure that we protect the votes of our president. So I have the right to feel bad. We were all over on the social media campaigning for him. But I can tell you, 99% of the diaspora people who supported the president Right now, they are saying, oh, I wish I knew. So, Mr. President, like a prodigal son, can you reflect and come back to your senses and ask yourself, where am I losing the track? Because most of the people, actually, most of the people that we supported the president, when we meet, all of them, they are saying something negative. And that is not very good for the president. In fact, many people are saying if there is someone who should go, it is not Rigathi Gachagua, it is the president. And if that is not possible, they should go, both of them. That is what people are saying. Man, life is hard in Kenya.
I said that this government is rudderless, is leaderless, is planless. And Mr. Speaker is also merciless because within a very short time, the center can no longer hold. Mr. Speaker, former Senator, now Governor James Orengo, famously said in Senate that governments eat their own people. Former leader of majority of the National Assembly, Duale, was eaten by his government. Today is a CS. Former Deputy Speaker of the Senate, Kithure Kindiki, was eaten by his government. Now he's also a CS. Former Chair of Budget of this National Assembly was eaten by his government. Today is the majority leader. I don't know. We are now eating Rigiji. Where will he end up? Mr. Speaker, I have an issue of concern, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Majority Leader.
Honorable Speaker, is the Deputy Leader of Minority to assert that I was eaten by my own government, Honorable Speaker, whereas he knows I was never eaten by any government. I only stood firm against tyranny. I stood firm against the bullying that I experienced under that regime. The same bullying I have stood firm against our Deputy President today, who has been bullying members of Parliament. And I have only put my chest forward to defend the rights of all these members, including the Honorable Robert Mbui, who was Honorable Speaker, when the Deputy President visited Kathiani. He said to the Honorable Mbui that these Kambas are too few. They can never make a president. Kalonzo can never be anything. How can you defend a person who has disdain for Kalonzo Musyoka, a former vice president of this country? Mbui.
Robert Mbui.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. You know, I love the passion and the humor in the majority leader. But Mr. Speaker, I'm also impressed by the energy that I've seen in this house, the vigor, the passion from morning. I mean, it is the first bill, or rather it's the first motion where this House has gone up to public participation in the constituencies. Mr. Speaker, I only wish that the energy that we are expending here to send a question to all Kenyans about one individual was being used to fight the issues that are failing us in our education, in our health sector. People here, the cost of living has gone too high. People have no jobs. Mr. Speaker, those are the things that this House should passionately deal with. But Mr. Speaker, for a whole day, and from, I don't know, even the last week or 2 weeks, to deal with one matter, Mr. Speaker, I think that we are losing direction. And it is important, Mr. Speaker, that we deal with the things that are affecting our people. Because, Mr. Speaker, if you look at the education sector, I talked about it here the other day. We don't even have classes for grade 9 going into JSS. Mr. Speaker, the funding model for university has failed. Mr. Speaker, the insurance sector, NHIF, is having a problem, Mr. Speaker. How then do we spend taxpayers' money and time to come and deal with a matter of one single individual, Mr. Speaker? Now we are told that this person, Mr. Speaker, is a tribalist. But Mr. Speaker, those comments that he made, yesterday he made it very clear. And I was shocked. I was very shocked, Mr. Speaker, yesterday, to realize that in fact Kenya Kwanza was actually a company that is limited by shares and that people negotiated shares for themselves. The mover of the motion is a member of MCCP. MCCP negotiated shares for Lower Eastern. Mr. Speaker, because we had 2 cabinet secretaries in this government. Now, Mr. Speaker, we only have 1. And I'm telling you, Mr. Speaker, actions speak louder than words. The Deputy President may have said that he is a shareholder and there are issues about his community, but if you look at the appointments that are being made in Kenya, then you will realize that the person of the President himself is the one who is the biggest troublist, Mr. Speaker, because he's appointing people from his own community for every provision. Mr. Speaker, if we have to find a situation where a school has failed, you do not fire the deputy principal. You get rid of the principal. Our problem is not the deputy, it is the head himself.
Farah.
Thank you, Mr.
Yes, Farah.
Mr. Speaker, I was standing.
Order.
Mr. Speaker.
Order.
Mr. Speaker.
Robert Mbui, you are
This-
normally more decent than that.
This is
Alikuwa katika upande ule mwingine.
I said that this government is rudderless, is leaderless.
But we have heard how that MP, that is Robert Boy, was saying that the president is the one who is very corrupt. So they tried to impeach Gachagua, but the leader is the one who is very corrupt.
And,
Yes.
he just spoke the truth. But before I go there, I want to talk about the sentiments of Kimani Ichung'wah. And I want to tell him the same way he stood against the tyrannical order of Uhuru Kenyatta and the bullying of the previous government is the same way we are going to stand against the bullying of William Ruto, the harassment and humiliation that he is trying to do to those who say anything contrary to him. And I want to show you, Kimanzi, how hypocritical our members of parliament are. They have always been distorting the information. Because I remember very well in that meeting that Deputy President was having with the Kamba community. And I know you are a Kamba. Kimanzi might, I'm not sure, I might be from that region. But when Kalonzo Musyoka was talking to the Kamba community, he told them a statement of facts. Listen, my people. The votes that are required to make someone a president are so many. You need to work with us. You need to work with other communities. You need to join with others so that you can have enough votes to make Kalonzo a president. But with your only Kamba votes, Kalonzo cannot become a president. So he was telling them, join the government of William Ruto. You never know. We might decide to support one of you to become the president. That was the statement that the president was making, telling the Kamba people, join together with us. That was the point. But now they have to distort to say, oh, the president meant that you are so few, so none of you can ever become the president. That is what I call hypocrisy, lies, and deception. Just to make the deputy president look bad, whereas he meant well to that community. When I'm telling you, oh, Kimanzi, come and work with you. Because if you work alone, you'll be very weak. You might not reach where you're going. What is wrong with that? Does that mean that I'm belittling you or I am hating you? I'm just trying to help you. You know? So the deputy president did not in any way try to show that Kamba people can never occupy leadership in Kenya. And that is the unfairness that I have seen, that everything the deputy president has ever said, these people, they ran away with it, they changed their meaning, and they start now trying to convince Kenyans that this guy is so tribal, this guy has a lot of hate against other tribes, which is not true. Show me one clip where that shows that this Rigathi Gachagua is so tribal, and I'll show you exactly what he meant. I have never seen anywhere Rigathi Gachagua has attacked other tribes. The only thing he has been trying to do is to build himself politically, and that makes other leaders feel threatened. In our language, we say that a tree that has no fruits, the boys will never try to throw stones on it. But a tree that is producing fruits, the boys will always be there, throwing stones so that they can eat the fruits. These boys, the Ishongoas, they have seen that the tree of Rigathi Gachagua is producing politically, and they don't want him to continue growing politically. That is why they are trying to cut him. But he has done nothing wrong against anybody. If there is someone who has criticized people in this country, Rigathi Gachagua has not done more and worse things, like what Uhuru Kenyatta was saying about Raila Odinga before they joined hands. Rigathi Gachagua has not said worse things than what Raila Odinga had said before they joined with Uhuru Kenyatta. If there are people who were talking against other communities directly, it is Uhuru Kenyatta, it was Raila Odinga. If I can get some clips here of Raila Odinga before 2027, you'll be surprised what he was saying about Central Kenya. But we the people of Central Kenya, forgave him, and he got some votes. I mean, but do we have to keep on taking people in a tribal direction? And even when someone has not said anything tribal, we want to twist it to look tribal. I hate that so much. I think we have made steps as a country. The things politicians used to say against this tribe and that tribe were so bad things. Bad things. But today, at least we still have some elements of tribalism, but the people who amplify are the Ishongoas, who pretend they are not tribal, but they want to thrive by twisting statements to look tribal, so that people may have hatred. Show me one clip where Rigathi Gachagua is criticizing other tribes. The guy is busy building himself politically, and those who feel threatened, they want him to appear tribal, just like people decided that they have to give names to Ruto so that he does not become president. William Ruto, though he has some of those elements, he was not as bad as the government of Uhuru Kenyatta was trying to portray him. They are using the same card that we Kenyans refused during the time of Uhuru Kenyatta. The same card Uhuru was using against Ruto is the same card they are trying to use against Rigathi Gachagua. At least they should come up with something else. We are already used to such nonsense. Let them deceive other people, not we who have been there in politics. Because we shall tell Kenyans the truth. Leo Nyambaya.
You say,
Why are
Buru,
you making noise? Jeff, why are you making noise? Sorry, Bonnie first, sorry. Can you hear me?
Boniface, proceed.
and of course, Buru is saying that is very hard because of Gachagua going through those humiliation. So if you're joining us through the comment section there, I can see our comment section there is very active. Also, I'm saying that I supported Gachagua 100% until when I heard the allegation of the cop. That is where we parted ways, though I respect the great people of the central region. And also saying that welcome Leo, that is Gibbs Icona, and
Yeah, awesome.
Icona.
Awesome. Just a minute on that comment. The allegations. Can we really persecute someone through allegations? Is there any evidence? Because we say in law, you should not only be fair, but we should be seen to be fair. Can someone show that Rigathi Gachagua tried to overturn the government of William Ruto? If anything, Rigathi Gachagua has always been praising William Ruto.
Yeah.
So I don't know, Leo, if you have if you have any
No,
evidence
I
that you
just
can
want
share.
to, before, why are we talking of allegations? Huh?
Uh,
Why are
Leo,
we talking of
can you be
allegations?
closer to your mic?
What these things were allegations on the first day when the MP. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, but at a far distance. Your voice is far, far away.
All right, let me raise my voice. I'm telling you, these things were allegations on the first day that the bill was brought before or tabled in Parliament. They were
Yes.
allegations. There were 11 grounds. Our constitution says that at least if any of the grounds is proved, you don't need to prove all the 11 grounds, but at least any of the 11 grounds, only one is enough for you to be impeached if they can be able to prove it. The deputy president did respond to the things that he claimed to be allegations. The witnesses were called, and if you follow the proceedings for them to impeach the deputy president, it means that he was not able to refute all of these allegations. It was true that as they alleged that his sons, he used his sons as proxies to ship on money that belonged to the taxpayers. It was proved that yes, the said hotels, the said properties belonged to his sons, who he was not able to explain how these sons got these kind of properties. He kept on now shifted goals and started blaming his late brother who could not be reached. So I think we just need to accept that, despite the fact that it is not only Rigathi Gachagua who is having these bad manners, but we should not just forgive Rigathi Gachagua because other people are also having bad manners. We should use Gachagua as an example and as a warning to people who are also having bad manners, so that they also get ready to know that we are going to take action. Just simply because two prisoners have escaped from prison, you don't go and open the entire prison and allow all the prisoners to escape. You need to ensure that the prison is locked for the ones who are still remaining there as you pursue the ones who escaped. So the fact that Ruto is equally maybe guilty or something like that, what we should be discussing is that it's simple to start with the Gachagua, then we now go back and they deal with William Ruto, because the constitution says that if we impeach the president, the deputy president
Leo,
automatically becomes the
Leo, you
president.
are having,
So it will really,
Mr.
it
Leo,
will
just
not
a
make
minute.
sense to impeach Ruto, then allow Gachagua to be there. But if we start with the deputy president, then the president will have
Just
to
a
appoint
minute,
somebody who is
Leo.
clean. Yes.
Mr. Kimanzi, I want to know whether the voice of Leo is very clear on your side, because on my side, I'm struggling to hear everything he is saying, but I can hear he has very good points. Is it possible, Leo, you try to check your system so that we can have a constructive debate?
I can
Kimanzi,
continue like that. I can hear a little bit of.
but I know still he can try to adjust, and the volume is low, is down. You're having very good points. But, sorry, can you talk? Can you talk now?
I'll do this. Let me work on it.
It's okay now.
Yeah, let him adjust the volume, because we need to hear him clearly. One thing here he is saying is that our leaders have bad manners, and because of that reason, we should use Rigathi Gachagua as an example to other leaders, that when you have bad manners, you face the consequence. I have no problem whatsoever if the deputy president is guilty of anything, but it has to be proved beyond reasonable doubt. My personality is that if someone is doing something that is wrong, if someone is oppressing other people, if someone is taking advantage of other people, that person, I believe, should face punishment. And it doesn't matter who is that person, whether it's someone from my tribe or from my family. I don't start with evil. But I don't put people in the court of public opinion to persecute them without concrete evidence. And that is what I say. In Kenya, sometimes we just sacrifice people because we have the ability to do so, without convincingly proving that those people are guilty. For instance, if someone says that the deputy president had tried to overturn, had attempted to overthrow the president, that's a very serious allegation. Yet right now, during the impeachment in parliament, that is not one of the grounds. So why should you say such a serious thing if you don't have evidence? Why should anyone say that the deputy president was the force behind Gen Zs? I mean, Kenyans, let us not allow deception. Let us not allow people who are afraid to see the star of the deputy president shining. Let us not allow them to cover that star. They're just afraid. They are just afraid. The other thing, apart from seeing that the star is shining and they want to cover it, they're also afraid because they are liars, there are thieves, people who thrive in deception, people who don't want to tell Kenyans the truth. And here comes a man who tells Kenyans the truth. They fear exposure. Like now, this man who has been given so many tenders in Kenya, Adani. Don't see Adani, see Ruto behind this guy. Ruto want to own our parastatos, including the airport. But he is behind someone. If it is a tender, it should be an open tender. Let people compete. If we are leasing the airport, it should be open. If I'm capable, let me say how much I can afford. But you cannot just come with one guy. He is the one who wants to be in this. He wants to be in this project. I don't know. No. There is something the president wants to do. But the only guy who can stop him is Gachagua. Kenyans, you lose Gachagua, we lose all of us. I'm telling you the truth. Because in the government of William Ruto right now, nobody else who can question his acts. Unless you put me there. After Gachagua, what next? Guys, tell William Ruto to appoint me. Because I would continue telling him the truth. The reason why I stand with Gachagua so much, Bonnie, is because I am a truthful person, and I know the persecution I go through. Sometimes, to the point, sometimes even at the family level, because I would tell everybody the truth. And the people who speak the truth, in most cases, they don't have friends. I know that. People like being deceived. People like someone you can have very dark deals with them and you don't talk about it. People don't want to be told to rectify their bad ways. I know what truthful people go through because I speak like Gachagua. So I feel the pain of Gachagua because I know if there is someone who is innocent in Kenya, it might be only be Gachagua. To the extent that Kenyans nicknamed him the truthful man. I know the tribulations. I know the suffering of those people who try to speak the truth. I don't have many friends because I tell people the truth. I only have honest friends. I can tell you the truth. Myself, I only have honest friends. Because when I realize someone is not honest, someone is not straightforward, I don't entertain them. And also those people who are not very straight, they don't like me. Because I tell them, hypocrites. I will tell them as it is. So Gachagua is going through the same. For me, I suffer a little bit because I'm not big. I'm a commoner. But now Gachagua is suffering so much because he's a top guy there and he wants to see things happening the right way. And Kenyans don't be deceived by the likes of Ichongwa. What Gachagua has done, he is obstructing them from stealing from you. And you want to be deceived to kick him away. Be careful. Be very careful. Gachagua as a DC has served in many regions of Kenya. He has served in Western Kenya more than he has served in Central Kenya. So when you talk of tribalism, I don't think so. He is just trying to solidify himself politically in Central Kenya because charity begins at home, and some people are so afraid and so uncomfortable with that. If someone says he tried the coup, table the evidence. Any attempt to overthrow a government is treason. Ruto is the president, yes. Gachagua has committed a treason, yes. Let him take him to court. But these allegations of throwing words to people, they want us to believe. Kenyans don't just believe these hungry hyenas, the politicians. Before you allow them to prosecute anybody, to persecute anybody, to throw those allegations, tell them we want the evidence. You have heard what that guy has said, that Gachagua was belittling the Kaba people, that they would never, because they are a very small community, they can never occupy State House. They can never raise a president. Yet that is not what he meant. Don't believe these hypocrites. Listen keenly to what they say, then go do your research, and then come back here and say whether what I'm telling you is not the truth. That is not what the Deputy President said. Even when the Deputy President talked about shares, he was not talking about his tribe. He was saying, join us so that you can have a say, so that you can also have power to be appointed. Because if Raila becomes the president today, the people who support him, those are the people he is going to appoint in cabinet. It is common sense. If Trump becomes the president of USA, all those people that are working with Biden, they will go home. He will appoint the people who support his agenda. That is simply what the Deputy President was saying. But these hypocritical members of parliament, they have to keep on twisting and telling people, oh, he is so tribal. He said, oh, that people don't have shares. And pray the whole clip. Then you say he did not even say that the government is a company. He said it's land like. Yani inakuwaga ni kama anafananisha, analiganisha ya kwamba kama wewe unasupport president, kuna uwezekano naye akipata nafasi anaweza akakupatia. It's common sense. Yes, Penny Nyagaka.
Yes. Jeff, habari yako?
Salama sana bwana.
Mimi nakubaliana 100% ya kila kitu unasema, na defense hiyo ndio tunapeana all the time. But come to think of it, it is exactly what the Machiavellian theories were. Whoever helps you to get to power, you get rid of them first. You saw what Moi did with the first vice president. He used people like Kanyingi from Rimuru to finish him. And that's how he stayed in power for 24 years. So, Jeff, the examples you are giving, the defense you are giving, while all this is very clearly true, this guy is really using other theories about they are outdated. There is nothing like that in a democracy Whoever helps you in power, you get them closer, like you just said about whoever wins the elections, and then you give them the power to continue with the leadership of that nation. But the Machiavellian theories about what, like in the 1800s, the mzee sana, and they will never work in our country today. So we are very appreciative of what the theories that you, the defense you are giving. Some of us, Jeff Mirasema kama mimi, I feel very bad, very, very, very bad. Nilienda nyumbani in March this year, and one of my sisters is married in Kikuyu, Kiambu. And they came to see me, and one of the ladies were talking exactly the same language Mirasema. My nephews Mbugua na Umari, na wauliza sasa mnapatia nani kura ya Raila, wananiambia ako atatupatia nini tukumpatia kura. So I was agreeing, I'm giving you that example to tell you that I was agreeing with what you are saying exactly 100% in defense of this guy who really, in all likelihood, has learned something to talk about Moi's time. Now Moi, people vote him kina Nyona, kina Shikuku, to where we have really one of the best constitutions. So he is really going against the Kenyan constitution, that we cannot think that he will survive. And the courts have really helped us. Even Kenyatta's son tried to do away with it, but the court said no. So now the Senate will say no and leave Gachagua alone. And then what after that, if the Senate is not going to promote Gachagua, then the courts will sincerely, clearly look at the evidence. When the president himself was vice president, deputy president, he castigated everybody from the DCI to anybody. To Mutembei ule Mukapagina alitoroka Kenya, the chief of police, he wasn't castigating them. So what's wrong with Gachagua was saying something about the DCI? Who is so corrupt? When he got the DCI, he fired everybody that was senior next to him or knew what was going on. And the Gen Z came along when when some of us grew up. The intelligence of Kenya was #1, if not the world, in Africa. They knew, and they could have known that the Gen Z is coming along. So Gachagua was saying that this is a failure of the intelligence of this country. There's nothing wrong with that. Why hire somebody to think?
But remember, they are saying these Gen Zs belong to Gachagua. What do you have to say about that? He said the intelligence was supposed to have told the government what's going on. Then they said, oh, this is his group.
No, those are some of the theories to finish him. That's just that simple. It's just theories to finish him. Because the GNC, you cannot organize the people the way those guys were really upgrowing. I mean, they grew up from nowhere. And everybody, even if they were, let's assume they were his group, the intelligence they should have known. They went to every market and listened. What did you think Moi stayed in power for so long? Because the intelligence was good. He knew exactly what was going on where. So let's assume it is his. How come they did not know it? Because they would talk. They would talk somewhere. They were saying it earlier than that. So it is as bogus.
I want to read the grounds that were given as the reasons for impeachment, so that when we are discussing, we can check on these things. One is inflammatory and insightful utterances. And those are some of the things I'm saying. Kimanzi, as we are talking, we want to see them. And if possible, we see the whole clips where the deputy president is inciting Kenyans. I really want to see that. Because most of these things, they twist to mean what someone is not. Even today, I can say something here, and if you are not my friend, and if you have something against me, you are likely to go and change what I meant. Just like pastors, sometimes they don't say what the Bible means. They say
Yeah.
what favors them.
Yeah.
Yes.
For us to even let us not waste the time to look at that, because the what do you call it, the House of Representatives, the Parliament, whenever they went there, they had already declared war on Gachagua. So why are you looking for evidence? It's like thinking backwards, because there was no evidence to begin with that they looked at. They just wanted this guy out. And then Ruto, like I've said before, Ruto wanted him out to use the Machiavellian theories that those people who helped you, first you get rid of them, and then you survive. You get the new people, you use them for so long, and then you get rid of them, and on and on and on. But we had passed that. The 70s, the 80s, the 90s, all these years, the system was fought to be as Western countries have been. They don't use the Machiavellian theories anymore. If the Machiavellian was happening, then Joe Biden could not have Kamala Harris, and on and on and on. So I appreciate you looking for evidence, but I will not look for evidence, because these people had already had in their minds as everything that anybody has said. The speaker, when he was in the funeral in Ukambani, what he said, when this lady was in the Liberty Fire with a stick, what she was saying, was that evidence they looked at? Was that evidence they had? No. Like I'm saying, Ruto was given Kitule Kindiki, but why did he choose Gachagua? Because of how Gachagua talks, how Gachagua plays the gallery of the common people and their thinking. And my friend Jeff, this is what they are attacking him for. Because you can look at what he was saying before even they came with this, and know that this was Gachagua was. Personally, I supported Gachagua against Kindiki, because he was the most he was the person that the opposition, rather the opposition for most. Anywhere, any Western countries that you can think of, the person who rattles the opposition is the deputy or the vice president, because the president writes, then he helps the president to go above that kind of thinking. So for them to come after him is naive, is something that has been shown before, is something that has been tried before, and we cannot go to try this anymore, Jeffrey. Let's just look at it as it is. It's the height of stupidity, and I don't see how they can beat people like Boromite, who was schooled by Charles Jonjo. And this was one of the best lawyers in Kenya. So that when he stopped today, whatever he presented yesterday is what the court said today. The court said very clearly that Parliament, excuse me, doesn't have the power to impeach the deputy president. It is the Senate. And the Senate, most of them, I'm very proud of my representative of the Senate, Onyonka. He has said, we are not going to impeach this guy. For what? Everything that he has said it before. The president himself today has said triple. Come on, which is what made water. Even the president is selling everything from the anything productive for the Kenyan that was put together. He's selling it. And if those members of parliament were looking at the presentation of the Kenyan people, they could have really stopped the stupidity of selling things like the airport, the electricity, all these things that this guy is trying to sell are the things that the Kenyan people really wanted and can help the Kenyan people, and we can invest in it. Anybody can invest in it. Come on, Safaricom. If you remember how Safaricom came along, and it's one of the best, I think, with that Kenyan investment. So wacha nimalize ya kwamba when some of us were very very enthusiastic about Ruto because Jeff, he said something about the bottom up economics. Now that's the economy we went to school and learned a long time ago. This is the economy of how Europe get what it is, how Southeastern countries got where it is, how Kibaki himself did to Kenya. He expanded the taxation and financed the Kenyan government from the taxes the people pay in the country without stealing. But this guy is taxing and stealing. That's not bottom up at all. That is insult. Some of us followed him and accepted it because we thought that our country will grow up like be strong as Europe or Asian countries like Malaysia, Singapore, South Korea, Japan. But those countries, they don't have corruption as high as we have in Kenya. And that, Jeff, has really messed us up to where we are today. And this is an exercise that the Kenyan people would never go for. We are smart enough. All the Kenyan people, ukiona Gen Z, anybody, other. I watch a lot about the Kenya. Mama mmoja alinichekesha, ana hata meno, ni mzee sana. Anasema hii watu watakuja kuniua lakini waache nani wetu Gachagua. The people are very clear in their thinking. And listening to somebody like you, I don't even have to come to the show because Jeff anachukua kila kitu yangu. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Penny Nyagaka. Hey, sasa nitakuwa nakutumia SMS pale kwa inbox mahali tu unaingia kwa show. Kenya Rebel. Are you able to hear us, Kenya Rebel?
Yes. Mnanisikia?
Kibazi huyu ana pesa yangu. Huyu ana pesa yangu lakini ataleta.
Wewe Kamala atashindwa lakini wacha tuendelee. Mnanisikia?
Kenya Rebel, you can continue na nilikuwekea email kama uliona.
Ya, niliona. Hiyo tutatengeneza hiyo maneno. Can you hear me?
Endelea
vizuri? Haya. I'm glad to see Jeff Mburu. It's been a long time. Nyagaka kijana yangu Nyagaka ni kijana sana bado. Anajifanya kama mzee. Na boni hapo.
Mimi mzee. Nikiwa Kenya mimi mzee. Nikiwa America ni kijana.
Haya. I agree with all of you that this hii charges wanaletea Gachagua hapa ni kama bogus. It's bogus too. You can actually use those if they are going to use those charges against Gachagua. They might as well start with Ruto kwa sababu everything that have been laid there can apply to Ruto. So why go for the deputy president while you can go for the president himself? The only thing I can say about just to to different from what Jeff Mburu was saying, I'm listening him kidogo about Gachagua being a truthful man. Gachagua is truthful because he knows no one can take him anywhere, okay? He's in power, he has money. Yes, you've told us that, he's a very humble man. We remember Harun Mwau. Harun Mwau was a humble man. He used to go to Harambee and tell everyone, and then nyumbani, chukue pesa ndio hii. Mnataka bilioni 6. We'll give them millions hapo na anaambia kila and then nyumbani, tokeni hapa. He was helping and it was nice. But the question comes, we all know, unless we are delusional, Gachagua is just as corrupt. Maybe not to the extent Ruto is, but he's corrupt. If we had a functioning EACC, and we looked at how he made his money, he's just as corrupt, rottenly corrupt, just like the rest of them. But I would say instead of impeaching him, let's impeach the president, because the head of the snake, that's where the poison is being spewed. So let's start with Ruto, not Gachagua. But as far as impeachment, I agree with you in a story. Like I usually say, to me, honestly, this is a whole, I think Ruto and Gachagua wanatucheza vile tu Ruto na Uhuru walitucheza. I usually ask if Ruto really fell out with Uhuru. Why did Uhuru give him power? Ilikuwa mchezo wa town to divide and rule. Na hii mchezo wa town wameianza tena na Gachagua. Because if I was to ask any one of you, what is the reason? What made those two become enemies, Gachagua na Ruto? There's no reason. Walikosania nini? Walikuwa wanapigania nini? Hakuna kitu walikuwa wanapigania, but it's just something that they use the media and all this nini ati Gachagua is being sijui insubordinate na hii mambo mengine, alafu wakaanza ni kukoroga maneno. So hii mchezo wa town itaendelea na utasikia wataanza ku change constitution next in the few coming months. So I'm not buying this. This is the same game Uhuru and Ruto played, and it's the same script that is being played again. But I agree. Hizi charges ni za upuzi, waachane Gachagua. Kama wanataka kutoa serikali, watoe serikali yote ya Ruto, na wana ninio wote, watu wana ninio, the parliamentarians na senators na hao governor na ninio yote. Na waachane na Gachagua. It's either you leave him alone or they all go home. Anyway, that's all I can say. Thank you.
Kenya Rebel is saying that waachane na Gachagua ama waende wote nyumbani. I was in the comment section there, I saying that, Penny, did you listen to Gachagua when he started making a press address after the president, when the country was in crisis with the Gen Z? What were your thoughts then? Or everything to you was okay? That is a question to you, Penny Nyagaka.
I've listened to a lot of speeches from Gachagua, and he has always said very clearly what he meant and what he said. And vile Jeff anasema nakubali na wote na Niki Yerebo anakataa. That's a truthful person. In as far as Kenyan politics is concerned, we have never had anybody that speaks as clear to the point as him. Na hivyo nasema also, who is in the driving seat? This is Ruto, and this is his deputy. So whatever he says, some of us know that it's subordination to whoever is driving, and I don't have any problem with that. Now, ngoja niseme kwa awesome ya kwamba, if these people, for example, the leadership in parliament, did not come very clearly and castigate the guy and say they are going to send him home before they even hear the evidence, how can you take me to court and the judge already rules on a Sunday before he goes to Monday to court? That's bogus in itself. So whether whatever Nani speaks, we listen to it a lot, but some of us don't have any problem with it, because who is driving Kenya today? It is is Ruto.
Let us do this, Bonnie. Can you get the press conference briefing of the Deputy President during the Gen Z time? Because I believe you can get it, and we'll revisit that. Then, because Awesome seems to believe that there was anything wrong with what the Deputy President said. It's only fair if we can listen to that clip. You know, these politicians, when they are not happy with you, they will twist everything you have said. Even the president, it's only that right now he's the president and people are supporting him. He said something very wrong when he said mambo ni matatu, but they don't care about that. They don't think that is an integrity. Penny Nyagaka, yani rais anawakuambia mambo ni matatu, uhame ama nikupeleke mbinguni, nafikiri ama ufanye nini? Is that not an integrity issue? Is that not a threat to people's lives?
When you take it literally, that's one of the most naive statements. If you take it literally, that's one of the worst statements the president ever said. He doesn't have authority. He doesn't have authority to send you to heaven. If he kills you, if you are a sinner, you go to hell. So unasema ufanye nini uame hapa. Those Jeff, I'm very glad you remember something like that. Lakini hizo tunaona to the hogwash, stupidity of the highest order.
Right now, the president can accuse the deputy of insightful utterances, dangerous utterances, without thinking of the things has been speaking even in the past. There are so many clips that shows the integrity of the president is wanting. But because that is the nature of our politics, we don't care about it. But the person they want to sacrifice, we join them to help them sacrifice someone who is actually helping Kenyans. What was wrong with the deputy president saying, these Gen Zs are our children, Mr. President, let us listen to them? That's what a responsible father is supposed to do. If my kids, because I'm a father, if they have a complaint, what should I do? Should I now start planning how to fight them? The best way is to sit down with them, we talk. And finally, the president listened to what the deputy was saying. Is that contradicting the president? No. Our president, before reasoning, our president, before thinking much on what is supposed to be done and what is happening, he is there just dumping. Hii maandamano, those who are inciting, sijui what? No. That is not the kind of leadership we want.
Yeah, I changed it completely, and I have a right. I will never call this guy a president. Hii ni Ruto tu, kama mtu mwingine yeyote kutoka mahali popote. I know, understand Kimaze, mzalendo ameingia. I helped him get to power. When I was on the election Guinea, I made a lot of enemies defending this weird character. Na sasa kuangalia vile this guy has done, and we are privileged enough to have seen the history of this of different countries. Now to see that he's using the Machiavellian theories, ya kwamba whoever helps you get whatever the power, say for example, this is the first people you get rid of, and that's exactly what he's doing. And anything else, my friend, we can defend, we can do whatever we want, but this is simply a Machiavellian theories that he's using, and more using them for August. That's why he knew that he would not survive being president, and he had that. I think it was Nganga or Jenga, the vice president of Kenya and Nairobi University, and then he used Kinekanyigi to get rid of him. And even we're used to get people like the popularity of people like Paul Gay, who was very senior from Ukambani. But this, my friend Jeff, we can talk forever, and this is very good. And Kimanzi, thank you for opening the show. But it is what it is. It's simple and stupid. Yani Machiavellian theories. Ya kwamba we can stand here and debate. Naona huyu awesome and debate sana. Lakini this is very simple. It's not what we see here. It is what is happening in general. Thank you very much.
I can't hear you, Bonnie.
Okay, Minasema, this Murara character, we think that he's going to be like his great grandfather or his grandfather. Great grandfather was the first representative from Gusii when it was a white man lexico in the 60s and 50s. That's John Kebaso. And George Morara was his son, who happened to be this Morara's grandkid. And some of us believed, Kimanzi, we believed and trusted Ruto to deliver Kenya to a different level of understanding, from where you go and see people that are really poor, the houses they are renting on it, to where we can go. The different countries developed to Kiangalia. We thought this guy would help us move from this stage to another stage. My friend, we were wrong, and some of us are dreaming, hoping. Mnasema Kimazi, mimi wengine ni wazee. We don't want, I will not want to leave this country the way Kenya is today. Unaona? I have a daughter that works in Germany. Ukienda nyumbani ananiambia, Daddy, how watu, they don't have shoes but they are smiling. Namuuliza sasa unataka walie? You want them to cry? You know, you will see this, but we are immune to it. But we want to change that to where we can be like anybody else. This guy talking about the Kenyan Meat Commission, the skin from there can make some of the best shoes in Africa or in Kenya itself. He talked a very good game. Was he lying to us? He either was lying or he didn't know what he was talking about. Nawambia, the bottom of economics, hii ni kitu umesoma. Hii ni kitu yule mtu ameanza IMF, the World Bank. He's the one who was kicked out of the Treaty of Versailles. It is a history. But we thought that he knew what he was talking about. But Kimazi, this guy didn't know a damn. So some of us are hoping that Morara can help, because Ruto ni ya kwenu, lakini anaonekana kama he is not clear. Raila, he get both. He was bought by Moi, he was bought by Kibaki, he was bought by Kenyatta. This is not the opposition. There is no opposition in Kenya. If we have developed a country where kina Shikuku fought for, kina Nyona Moseti, it is not what it is that we were hoping for. Some of us were young enough to be sitting around with people like Moseti, Anyona, and he will explain to you, he will talk to you. Because sababu ukitoka America unaona you have mileage in Kenya. So these guys who are lecturing you are really saying this is a system that we have here and we have to change it. And we thought and we hoped that they had changed it, but they didn't. Unaona? Ngoja nimalizie hapo niseme ya kwamba thank you very much Kimanzi, thank you Jeffrey. Usichukue maneno yangu yote. Ama mimi nachukua yako.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. Maybe Kimanzi, you can give me a minute. I want to respond to Nyagaka, especially on the Machiavellianism. This is a theory that states that rulers should use any means at their disposal to get what they want. That they should use whatever means to get to power and to retain power. Whether it is being cunning, whether it is being manipulative, whether it means killing their opponents, and even finishing those who have supported them. But I would say that theory should be working to countries that are very young politically, what we call the banana republics. Countries that are still in the level of barbarism. But I'm expecting now Kenya should have is supposed to have made some steps of civilization, because it doesn't make me any better if I finish someone who has done good to me, because it seems Ruto used that the theory of I should get what I want using any means. I am going to use people after I have used them. I am going to dump them, because after all, I'm already the president. Where will they take me? That is unfair. That is behaving in a barbaric way. How, before I go there, let's think of countries that are developed. For instance, in America, where people are not selfish, where leaders think much about their country and their subjects than themselves. We have seen, I won't go very far, but we saw how President Obama was treating his deputy, to the extent that when Biden said he wanted to become the president, Obama was the first person to endorse him. Not just endorse, but also campaign for him. Biden right now, when he decided he is going to resign, he said, I think the person who should take leadership from me is my deputy. That is civilization. But now our leaders are totally opposite. They don't want to hear their deputies. They don't want to see them grow. All what they want to do is to cover them, that they will never be heard. To me, that is stupidity. It doesn't make me less if I support you, Kimanzi, to become a better person, to go from where you are to the next level. It doesn't mean that if Ruto relates very well with Gachagua, it doesn't mean he will not be the president in 2027. But he thinks by now destroying Gachagua and bringing someone there who is naive, someone there who is ignorant, someone who will never question him, that he becomes a better person. For me, I don't think so. Under normal circumstance, in psychology, that was the Machiavellianism theory, but psychology says that it is in the nature of human beings to treat you the same way you have treated them. But it seems Ruto is going against that. Gachagua has done great good things to Ruto. This is someone who was jailed because of starting with Ruto. This is someone whose money had been taken by the government because of starting with Ruto. This is someone who was humiliated before his children, even being dragged naked because of Ruto. This is someone who used his money in millions, if not billions, to campaign for Ruto. This is someone who left his post, and remember, he was the briefcase carrier of the former president, personal assistant to the president. But he told the president, I'm leaving you because you are mistreating Ruto. But now, Ruto has forgotten all that. Gachagua may be a bad guy, but I think he has done so many good things to Ruto that Ruto in his heart, I don't know, I actually don't know where I can get guts to mistreat someone who has done so many good things to me. So I would say, basing on what Ruto, the kind of humiliation the president has taken through his deputy, my conclusion is that Ruto is inhuman. Ruto is someone who is so unappreciative. Ruto is someone who forgets, because it seems he has forgotten how much Gachagua fought for him to become the president. Without the courage of Gachagua, many of the members of parliament remained with Ruto because they saw Gachagua is withstanding. If there was nobody of the character and the boldness like Gachagua, many members would have left Ruto. So I'm really frustrated to see how Ruto is humiliating his deputy. Uhuru did very bad things. Uhuru did very bad things, but he never Ruto. So Ruto has gone a step, and he has decided to do once. Yet he promised he will never let anybody humiliate his deputy. For me, I'm saying, because of being unappreciative, everything you do, wait to harvest. Wait for the consequences. What Ruto has done to Rigathi Gachagua is likely to cost him his leadership position, or he might be one-term president. I'm telling you the truth, because I don't know, unless Raila Odinga decides to stand with him to the end, but I'm not very sure. So Ruto has decided kucheza ile mchezo ya pata potea. Yaani unaacha Gachagua kwenye uko assured yako hapo na wewe, tunaenda kubahatisha na Kibiki. Central Kenya, Ruto atagoga chini ashangae. Na mimi nikiangalia kitu bana, mimi naangalia ground saa hii, kama kuna mtu anachukiwa Central Kenya ni Ruto, akifuatwa na Gachagua. Na sijui kama anajua hivyo. I wish he can understand that. Ajue, for him to save himself, he has to look for Gachagua and make the lift and build that bridge, and at least people might consider. Lakini hata akileta mtu mwingine, I don't know who is that other person that he is going to give to people so that people may believe in him again. Trust, when people lose trust on you, it is very hard to build that trust back, especially politically. And that is exactly what Ruto has done to himself.
Jeff.
Yes.
Kimanzi, waje nirudishe ya kwamba Jeff, what you have said, hiyo ndio some of the reasons mnaniita mzee. Some of us would like to see the meandering of, say for example, huyu Biden. Biden, my friend, won the elections in 1986. Hands down, he was like 90 something. But he made a mistake and went to Pennsylvania somewhere and he gave a speech. But this speech was word by word Neil Kinnock. This guy was a prime minister or running for prime minister in England. But he copied it. So he fell down so bad that only Obama would rescue the gentleman. And where did Obama come from? Africa. So we want to see this meandering in a democracy. Unaona? Obama, Trump is so popular. Biden is so popular today. He came from somewhere. He had a following, a strong following. He was going to win elections in 1986, but he copied somebody's speech, and the people, he never was even elected a democratic representative. Who raised it that time. So we want to see this kind of history in our country in itself. Vile huyu Murara anasema, he doesn't even really believe in only Gen Z. It's everybody. And that's what everybody in Kenya will want. Do we know that Gen Z is a larger population than the older generation? Yes. Would the older generation advise them? Yes. Would the older generation be leaders and the Gen Z be subordinates? Yes. You saw what happened either in Malaysia somewhere, where this guy was 91 and they voted back in, and people said he has to come in because he's the one who helped us get where we are. So some of us thought that this guy Ruto was going to do that. He can't. There's some Jeff waje nikwambie leo, this guy will never be anything that we thought about. Now what they mounted are the very good pictures, and they show a very good picture, and they can lead somebody. They can lead somebody's mind our ideas very clearly, and the people of the mountain have helped us, some of us very well. So we have to look for somebody else, Kimanzi, Mzalendo. We have to look for somebody else. Wengine tumepata huyu Morara, tunang'ang'ana na yeye, na he has done a lot of mistakes. Anasema kazi yake ya kwanza ni kuweka nani Ruto kwa chera. That is not his job. So we know that there are a lot of mistakes these guys are doing, but let us have a future that we can look at that is clear. Hey, can it be meddling everywhere? Yes. Vile nakwambia Jeff, huyu ungejua huyu nani when we knew him in 86, huyu Biden. Without Obama, Biden could not be anywhere. Thank you.
Great. Kimanzi, you are muted. Yeah, Kimanzi, we can't hear you. We can only see your mouth moving. Kimanzi, we can't hear you. Yes. Now, Penny Nyagaka, I want to touch on Morara just a minute, because you have said something very important, that he is making mistakes, especially when he is making speech. And sometimes we say it's a slip of the tongue, but he might not be so much experienced on public speaking. And to solve that problem, he is supposed to have like 2-3 people that before he makes any public speech, those people are supposed to write a speech for him and tell him to stick on that. Not necessarily to read the speech, but after you had written what you are going to say and you have given someone else to proofread, it's very hard for you to say something that is very wrong. But if you just use your mind, like, and that's also the mistake of our deputy president. He doesn't prepare what he is going to say. And because I know Penny Nyagaka, you can get Morara. Tell him to get like 2 or 3 people who are experienced to be writing speech for him or to be going through his speech, so that he can, before he goes to talk to the media, he knows exactly what he is going to do. If he will do that, he will never mess up through his speech.
Jeff,
Buru, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Yeah, so I was saying, I was reading some of the comments here, and someone is saying that how come a very popular person certainly is hated by 281 members of parliament? There must be something wrong. There must be something wrong somewhere. That is awesome. And of course, I can see Mzalendo here. Mzalendo,
let me answer
welcome to
that.
Africa 24.
Let me answer that question. Kimanzi, before Mzalendo comes around, let me answer that question. To either yesterday, a day after, the same people will not be in parliament to pass any law, which means tell all of them, asinunue hii kitu yoyote, si tulinunua tumetoka hapo. This same parliamentarians, the 280 whatever that hates Gachagua, they were not there to pass the laws ambayo ilikuwa inatakikana kuwasaidia wananchi wa Kenya. So these are paid characters. We don't want to use very bad words, but these are paid characters, and that's what they are doing. Gachagua was never hated, was never loved. It was there. Ule mtu anaendesha gari hii anaitwa Ruto, and let us deal with that. Thank you.
I want to say this. The members of parliament, 281, those, they can be bought. But what the president don't know, you can buy the members of parliament to pass a motion, but you cannot buy all Kenyans. You can be as corrupt as you want to be, because we know very well. The reason why we had over 300 members of parliament during the motion, it is because of what people were eating. But the following day, all of them, almost all of them, were not there to continue with house business. Because our members of parliament, number one, they are extremely corrupt. That is a fact. Number two, Gachagua is not one of them. Why am I saying that? Before he became the deputy president, was just a one-term member of parliament. So he was not used to the culture of stealing and rooting together with them. Yes, he is rich because he has worked with the government for a very long time, doing business with government for a very long time, but he was doing it as a private.
Yeah, was stolen from somebody. Everybody steals. Let us not say that he was rich because he worked hard. He has stolen from somebody. And those people. Okay.
Let me finish what I'm saying. But now, he has not stayed with these people long enough to know each other. He was just there for one term. Before they know it, he's the deputy president. So their language is not very well known to Gachagua. The language of members of parliament in Kenya is a language of silence. Don't talk. Don't say. And they cover each other. They cover the president because of what they get from government. But Gachagua is so outspoken. And they feel threatened that this guy is likely to spill the beans. Like now, when you hear the sale of airport, I don't know the sale of what, those members of parliament, for them to be quiet, they get millions of money. But here there is someone who is saying, no, we can't do that. Do you want those? Do you think those guys, those members of parliament can like him? No, it's not possible. There is no way they can like Gachagua because they feel this Gachagua is very outspoken. Number three, the reason why they don't like Gachagua is because they didn't expect Gachagua is going to shine politically. They thought he would just be there because he was not well known in central Kenya. He would not become a kingpin. But right now, they realized this guy is almost becoming a kingpin in central Kenya. And those who are jealous, they started working against him. That is why they are saying, oh, for him, he is concentrating on building himself politically. What are you supposed to do as a politician? He is a politician. But they don't want to see that. So partly it is because of jealous. Number two is because of corruption. They were paid, many of them, if not all. And number three is because they don't like the way Gachagua talks. They don't want someone who tells Kenyans the truth. They want someone who is hypocritic like them.
That is Buru saying they want someone who is hypocritic like them. Morara is saying that, Awesome is saying that Morara is an upcoming leader, but overhyping him is not good. Let him police himself first, maybe 2045 or 2090. Mzalendo, welcome to Africa 24, and of course, Mzalendo, welcome to Africa 24, na tumekukosa sana katika show ya leo. Na tuambie maoni yako ni gani? And who is next?
Hey, how are you?
And who is next?
Unanisikia? Unanisikia?
Yeah. Loud and clear, Mzalendo. Loud and clear, Mzalendo. Achana na Jugu.
I'm driving, so maybe, but I can contribute in a bit about what you guys are talking about Gachagua. Now, yes, Gachagua is popular, courtesy of William Ruto. And what I had anticipated earlier on is that maybe Senate would save Gachagua. Remember the story of Donald Trump Donald Trump was impeached not once, twice by Congress. But since he had the majority in Senate, he survived. He survived the impeachment and continued to be the president of the United States. Because of our politics and the corruption in Africa and Kenya especially, most leaders are corrupt. A few of them are not corrupt. So you will find Gachagua not surviving, but he wants to take it all the way to maybe a constitutional interpretation by the Supreme Court on what the Constitution says about his impeachment, whether he got a fair hearing or not. And as I said earlier, Gachagua did not get a fair hearing. Why I'm saying this, the members of parliament investigated the conduct of Gachagua, presented their findings as members of parliament. You see, this is a country where we have the police, we have the judiciary, we have EACC that conduct investigations and all that. It did not get that chance. We have committees in parliament. You know, you cannot just wake up one day and table a motion and say, hey, I am impeaching Gachagua because of ABCD, because of his property up here in this particular place. That issue must meet the threshold of any investigation. You are not just you are not just dismissing a governor or a deputy governor. You are dismissing somebody with an equivalence of the presidency, and that is the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. So the committees on the House ought to have investigated the allegations of undermining the presidency, and how you can evaluate that to an extent that is beyond reasonable doubt that indeed Gachagua did this ABCD. But if there's no paperwork in that kind of investigation, no finding by the investigative authorities. MPs are not investigators; these are lawmakers. They are not investigators; they are lawmakers. They're supposed to legislate. That there are bodies that are supposed to investigate. They needed to summon DCI on their findings on Gachagua through the committees in Parliament, and that is what is going to be done in Senate. That issues each and every article of impeachment on Gachagua will be deliberated by the 11-member committee, and to an extent where they will investigate and interrogate their findings. That is where his lawyers will be there. And I hope he will not do the same mistake as going to defend himself in Parliament. Let his lawyers do the job for him at the Senate. That way he might survive. But I like and I want to congratulate the members of Parliament who used their cautious not to append their signatures in kicking out the deputy. I also want to thank Sifuna, who said, okay, for me, I am not seconding this motion. So there are a few senators in the Senate. Already Gachagua has got 11 of them on his side. So 11 is not enough. He needs 19 senators to survive in the Senate. In case a vote comes in, he needs those 19 senators. And that is where now money comes in. People are going to be bought. That is when you will know these legislators watanunuliwa. But again, for me, I think it shouldn't have reached this point. how important is Gachagua as the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya to you and me? I personally don't see anywhere that is involved in any policy making in government that affects me personally. Whatever his utterance were, yes, I have said it time and again that his utterances have been unpresidential, meaning he does not respect that seat of the VP. So he represents the people of Central Kenya. Is it good? Yes, in the eyes of the people from the mountain, it's a good thing. But if you are a national leader representing the office of the president, you represent each and everybody. Each and everybody, even those who did not vote for you. That is what democracy entails. That when you get to power, you forget about people who did not, the differences you had with people who did not support you, the way Ruto has done. People who did not support him, people like in ODM, like Raila, he has tried to embrace them to bring something unique called the government of national unity. Whether it is working for his political survival, that is what politics is all about. He has calculated that okay, if I bring these people on board, whether it is unorthodox, whether he had to pay them, whether he had to bribe them, he had to do what he has to do. And this is Africa. That is how the politics in Africa works sometimes. So Gachagua, as I said, his goose is cooked. Asikuwe na hiyo kiburi yako nayo. If he's listening, he has got a date. He has got a date with the people of Kenya. He has got a date in the people of Kenya. But if you are cautious, it's very, very clear that the judiciary will not be bribed and will follow the law to the letter. Or the senators will not follow the law to the letter. Investigate the matter in the fairest manner among the 11 members of the Senate. If you look at their integrity, if they have got questionable integrity, be rest assured that we're going on. Yeah. Oh, you can't hear me now. Can you hear me? No, it's not somebody who has put their mic on. It's Benny.
I think that's why it's not 11. It's the whole Senate.
No, it's not. It is. You see, there is an 11-member committee that is investigating the allegations. Then the finding is brought to the floor of the House for debate and to vote. For the vote, actually, it's for the vote. For debate and then the vote. So they will take a vote. The whole House will take a vote. But the 11 members will also take a vote. If they vote in favor of the impeachment, if they vote in favor of the impeachment, 6 against 5, yeah, then it is still taken to the House for all the members to vote. But if at all they say that the number, if they have the numbers that maybe 7 or something, then they will not. It will not reach the House, the floor of the House. All right. So it depends on the 11-member committee. If they see these allegations as rubbish, they'll throw it out, and the governor and the deputy president will still continue with being the deputy president of Kenya. So that is how.
Mute for us a little bit. Mzalendo, are you done with your submission?
Yeah, I think Penny has got something to say. Let him say it first.
Penny, go ahead.
Muzalendo, that is the theory if Sifuna had accepted. That's what would have happened. But the Sifuna disputed that. It went back to the whole house, and the whole house has to do the investigation. The whole house has to ask Gachagua the questions. The other theory that you are espousing right now, Mzalendo, is if Sifuna had accepted, then the 11 selected people could debate and say either he goes or he doesn't. When the Sifuna refused, it became because all the senators have to ask questions. All the senators have to be answered by Gachagua. I stand to be corrected. I stand to be corrected. But what you just said is what would have happened if Sifuna had accepted and agreed with what the other guy was talking about. But Sifuna disputed it. It went into the whole house. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Nyagaka. Yeah, that's what happened. So the case will be listened by the entire Senate. And we have a new person there. I want that person to introduce him or herself. With that name, I may not know the gender. So please, you are most welcome. Abiquatua, something like that. Say hi to us, and you can maybe give us your opening remarks. Yes. The person has disappeared. Now, I wanted to just make some few remarks. We are almost coming to an end of the show. And Mzalendo, in your opening remarks, you said, yes, Gachagua is very popular, courtesy of William Ruto. But I also want to tell you that William Ruto got so many votes, courtesy of the campaign of Rigathi Gachagua. And I want to tell Kenyans this. This is my observation. The team of Raila Odinga is supporting William Ruto to finish Gachagua. But if Raila Odinga fails to cringe to the AU position, he'll come back to finish Ruto. So Ruto, don't think you are very safe. For you to be safe, make sure Raila Odinga becomes the president. So if you think by finishing one of your own, you are strong, you might become very weak without knowing. You might be destroying yourself without knowing, because you have not thought of what is likely to happen if Raila Odinga become the AU chair. Mzalendo has asked a very important question, that how important is the position of the deputy president? The position of the deputy president is as important as the position of the president, because the deputy president is there to deputize the president. That means when the president is not in the country, the person who executes the duties of the president is the deputy president. That in case the president dies today, that position will not remain vacant, because the deputy will be there to take over. So the position of the deputy president is very, very important, especially in Kenya. And even constitutionally, the deputy president has some duties that are not delegated by the president. Apart from the duties that are given by the president, some of them are given constitutionally to the deputy president. However, even the person who will inherit or who will take over after Rigathi Gachagua will not come to do anything different from what Rigathi Gachagua has been doing. So the loser is the common mwananchi. These wars, they derail the economic growth. These wars redirect the focus that is supposed to be there of building the infrastructure, of building the economy. Now Kenyans are focusing on Rigathi Gachagua, something that is not very, very important. And finally, maybe Mzalendo, you can tell us. I normally follow politics critically. Maybe you can tell us the utterances that you believe that portray Gachagua as someone who is not presidential or who is a regional leader. Because some of these things Gachagua has said, from the time now it is over 2 years, but he maybe has made 2 or 3 statements, or maybe around 5, that people feel are not very comfortable. But even if you are to honestly revisit the videos, where, when, and how he said it, and what the enemies, political enemies, say, you realize it is totally different. Like now, the utterances about the company, he was not talking of anything favoring Central Kenya. Actually, he was talking in somewhere in Karijinland, in Rift Valley. I am still not understanding why sometimes we get, or we believe everything that the politicians say is accurate. They distort information.
Can I say something? Yes, because you directed a question to me. Yes, Penny, put up your mic. You see, Gachagua just recently, he said that you know what the president has done. He has given the most important seats, finance, energy, to people who did not vote for us or to other regions. That means, according to me, that is a simple translation that those people did not deserve to get those particular seats. To him, those seats would have been shared among the Kikuyu community and the Kalenjin community. Remember, that is what he means. He means every time he talks about shares. When he says that sisi kama mlima wa Kenya tulipea Ruto 50%, kwa hivyo tunataka share yetu ya serikali ya 50%. Is it a right statement? It is right when you are saying it in Central Kenya. But is it when you are saying it in Central Kenya, it goes on national TV. It doesn't matter where you are saying that particular statement, even if it is, unless it is in your bedroom when you are talking to Mrs. Gachagua in your bedroom in the middle of the night. But again, it is still wrong. It is still wrong.
I want to.
But when you are on camera, on camera, just wait. I'm finishing. I'm landing. When you are on camera on national TV and you say something like that, and you are a national leader, it is just like the same way Ruto will go to somewhere in Rift Valley and tell them 50% of this government is yours. Nobody else will get anything from this government apart from you people who voted for me. That is yours. Or 90% of this government is yours because you contributed 80% of it, you as a community. So it is nyinyi ndio kazi yangu kwanza. That is what Gachagua has been doing all along. But before I give my Penny a chance, Penny, I just wanted to answer you when Sifuna did not second the motion. It went back to now the floor of the House to debate on the matter or regarding regarding Gachagua. So that is what what Parliament, what Senate did. Now it is on the floor of the House for debate, and again it will go to voting. So already he has got, according to my sources, he has got only 11 senators. He needs 19 of them to survive. So that's how it is.
Okay, Penny Nyagaka, you wanted to say something?
Mheshimiwa, huyu mheshimiwa nani Mzalendo, I don't want to argue with him. I don't even want to have any difference with him. Thank you very much Mzalendo. Hiyo umesema ni kweli, lakini wacha turudi where you started with Gachagua. What Gachagua said are all facts as we know them. Learn to take facts for what they are. Ruto has elected, the percentage you want to give, 99% you are challenging, working for all the corporations. When Raila was given 7 slots, 4 of them he gave to the Luos, where he come from. So why are we criticizing Mzalendo? Why are we criticizing Gachagua for saying what these guys practice? Everybody, Mimi, everybody will practice the same thing. Whoever is close to you, whoever is known to you, will get those jobs to begin with. Now, Gachagua has said exactly what Ruto, what he has done. Raila, what he has done. Raila, after his family is everywhere. Unaona? When he's given the power to distribute it against the people who have supported him, or for the people who have supported him. Guess what? He gives first to this family. Muzalendo. Let us get facts like they are. Let us take them. They are painful. What this guy said, Gachagua, is painful. It's hard, but it is a fact. Thank you.
I wish Muzalendo was in the office, because I like dealing with evidence. And sometimes when we see the evidence, we are likely to be convinced. I would like to see that video clip where Gachagua, because Muzalendo, you have really spoken like a politician, where the deputy president said that Central Kenya gave, or Mrima gave Ruto 50%, so we are demanding 50% share of the government. I would like really to hear where Gachagua said that. The only thing I remember and what I know, yes, he spoke about shares, but he didn't even say that in Central Kenya. The only thing he was doing, he was thanking the people who stood with Ruto and told them, in this government you have share because you stood with the government. And we know very well why even now, even if I'm the one in the government, someone like Mubadi is a politician who was criticizing the government, who was giving UDA a very hard time, and who was campaigning the Kenya Kwanza government, but now he is the finance minister. Hata kama ni wewe utasikia at least kama kungekuwa na mtu mwingine mwenye hakuwa anapigana na serikali kama Kidero ama mtu mwingine from Nyanza ama mtu ambaye sio politician, watu hawangekuwa na shida. Lakini under normal circumstance, you don't go to the government with your opponent, then the most important positions you give to your opponents after winning the elections. That is weird. It is good for maybe the unity of the country. It is good for the opposition, but it is not good for the people who we are campaigning for it. They will feel uncomfortable. But anyway, it all depends on how you want to see it and how you want to interpret it. But I would like you to revisit first the video of Gachagua and when he was talking about the share. You know it was a statement of, by the way, something he said on a writer note, something he was saying to a specific group of people in a way of thanking them for supporting the government. But the political enemies decided to throw it out of proportion. The things, those utterances that people say about Gachagua, he has said them very few times, but many times he has talked about the unity of the country, of how people should come together and work together. Even when the president brought in Raila Odinga, we were expecting Gachagua to react. He did not. He said, we welcome them. What happened when Uhuru brought Raila Odinga? You saw the reaction of William Ruto. You cannot compare the behaviors of William Ruto to how Gachagua welcomed the opposition. So if it is tribalism and hatred, I want us to be very fair. What I know is that there are people who realized Gachagua is becoming a political giant in central Kenya, and they are very uncomfortable with it. So anything small he says, they run away with it, they change the meaning, and sometimes we tend to believe those video clips without listening to the whole statement, because there is concept. Even today, if you cut some of the things I have said, many people will believe that Geoffrey is tribal, whereas I don't care about which people come.
Jeff,
Yes.
waje ni kuongeza ya kwamba when you are really introducing at the end is a very powerful concept ya kwamba anybody who thought there was somebody in your mountain, sasa they are fighting him. And my answer is, when Moi was about to leave, he made everybody from every province mkubwa. Kutoka Nyanza alisema mzee Nyachae, kutoka Coast alisema somebody else. There was a minister who was very active and he died. All these people are characters that are promoted by a democracy, by an argument, by a government. Lakini moja tuseme ya kwamba, let us know where we are going. Hii ndio nataka nisaidie ndugu yangu mzalendo. Let us talk about where we are going. Where we are coming from, it's been very dirty, it's hard, it's confusing, but where are we going? Very clearly, where we are going today is not where Gachagua is going, is not where Ruto is going. It is a very good argument of what we can do to make it work better for us. Na hiyo ndio nakwambia chef, lakini ya kwamba sisi, for example, from Gizi tuna huyu mtoto anaitwa Morara. We really appreciate what he has done, the argument that he's making for the country. Unajua, in a democracy you have to make your own argument, inakubalika na watu wengi. Your argument, ile debate unayo, inakubalika na watu wengi. That's how you win the election. Unaona? And there is a deficit from Rift Valley, from Nyanza, from the mountain. There is a deficit as to where we are going. Have we failed? Yes, we have done it. Kila mtu, you will fall, you will stand up, you will fall, you will stand up. We have to stand up and know where we are going. You nataka mzalendo asikie, Kimanzi, you Jeff, where are we going? Let us talk about more where we are going as to where we are coming from. Yangu, for example, today, this guy is practicing, ulienda huko kwa kitabu kachua, the Machiavellian theories, and they are very poor, they are stupid. You get rid of the people who help you, Nani Gachagua, help this guy to be president. That's who you come to be first. That's who you destroy first. This guy, I mean, your theories in Akwambia, but the rest does not go there. The what did Akwambia, Jeff, huyu Nani Biden, alikuwa ameshinda elections 1986, hands down. Lakini when alibia, it's only Obama who helped him out to where he is so popular. It is a debate. Yani it's a long story. But when nikwambia kwamba, let us see who we can support in the future. Mimi nasema huyu Morara, mkisema mwingine tuende hapo. Tufanye vile tulikuwa tunataka. Sisi wengine tulitambua huyu Ruto, hatukujua alikuwa mwishi. Thank you very much, Jeffrey.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nyagaka, Pen Nyagaka. for your submission. Mr. Mzarendo, maybe we can give our final remarks. We have already done 3 hours, and I think it's a good time we can retire to bed. We can make our final submissions. So you start with Mzarendo, Penny Nyagaka, final remarks, then myself. If Bonnie is there, and we can add there. Mzarendo, are you able to make your final remarks?
Yes, Mburu. Me, what I can say about this whole scenario, it is unique. It is very, very unique to us, and people might speculate. And again, what we have seen is what we do every day. We go back to our tribal zones to support one of our own. What Ruto is doing in the country politically is dividing each and every community, and will it work in his favor? The answer is neither here or there. Are Kenyan people, have they reached a point where they are too annoyed? Are they hungered enough to make any changes in government or to bring somebody new? I am in very, very high doubts. People still vote with emotions. If you look at Gachagua, for instance, we are not looking at the substance of the matter. Some people don't even know why Gachagua is being impeached. They don't want even to know. But so long as it's Gachagua and Ruto has said he has to go, they will follow. If it is from my region, the Luo community, so long as Baba wants this guy to go, he will go. They don't even have to read beyond anything. He will go. Kikuyus will support Gachagua because he's their son. But I see again the Kikuyu community divided. A good number of them are. There are few who are supporting the impeachment of Gachagua, and they're from that region. How will it help Ruto politically? When they are going to Gachagua, definitely, if he's impeached, he doesn't have a chance to vie for any position in government, but he will still remain a figure that is influential. Or if he doesn't have that power of the VP, will it still remain as influential as it is? Only time will tell. We have seen people who had got a lot of influence, like people like Mike Sonko, people like this governor for Kiambu. I keep on forgetting his name. This guy, huyu wa kutupa mawe anaitwaje? That guy. Waitito can he influence anybody without power? Without being the governor, you are no nothing. Gachagua without the VP, the deputy president position is nothing. And worse still, if he still insists and he is impeached by Senate, if he is impeached by Senate, I can tell you that he will be finished politically before 2027. He will be finished politically. And what Ruto will do, he will make sure that he gets the right, he will get somebody who is going to really challenge Gachagua in central province politics and become the VP of the deputy president. It might be a lady. It might be a lady. The mistake Raila did in 2022, Ruto will rectify it in after impeaching Gachagua. He will bring somebody from Muranga as his DP, and it might be a woman. So you are good, Mburu. You know my guess, and she has to be youthful. So that is what Ruto is looking at, the political demographics. hii siasa is already gone. Siasa ya 2027, I can tell you, while you guys are busy politicking, while people were busy talking about talking about Gachagua impeachment, there was a law that was passed in parliament very, very fast, and Ruto signed it. Raila Odinga,
Mzalendo, tulikuwa tumekupoteza, endelea.
Nakwambia IBC commissioners, the deal has already been signed, so it means that the election is already gone. There are two people who are going to officiate the 2027 elections, and that is William Ruto and Raila Odinga. Who they are the ones who have selected the referees for the 2027 elections. So that election is already gone. It is gone. While we were sleeping, while we were busy debating on Gachagua and the Adanis, there was a very important IBC law being passed, and it's already been passed. So 2027, hiyo mambo imeisha.
Haya, wacha nikuambie kitu kidogo. Kuna kitu ambacho, there is something that people don't understand about Mount Kenya people. I was here in the media. The good thing, Penny Nyagaka was also there, and Mzalendo. And I told you, what people are saying about the division in Mount Kenya is just guesswork. That is not how Mount Kenya people behave. Mount Kenya wakisema wamekudrop. And no matter the kind of influence you think you have, I don't think Ruto can be more influential than Uhuru Kenyatta, who was actually the kingpin that people supported 100%. But people defied him. Mount Kenya does not operate like other regions that you can do something and you think people are going to forget. Already people are unhappy with Ruto. Unless he makes the lift with Gachagua.
No, Mburu, Mount Kenya did not. Mburu, ngoja kidogo tu. 1 second. Mount Kenya did not rebel against Uhuru. They rebelled against Raila Odinga. They still have Uhuru as their kingpin.
Wacha nimalize. Nilikuja hapa kina watu wengine hapo wakajaribu kunionyesha penye Mount Kenya itavote, ati sijui wazee walisema, sijui Mount Kenya saa hii imegawana mara mbili. Nikawaambia ni uongo. Hata saa hii nawaambia ni uongo. Ruto hata achukue Sabina Chege ama achukue Waiguru ama achukue Kidiki, tayari amekasirisha watu kwa sababu ameonyeshana madharau. Kuna madharau, na huyo mtu mwenye anadharau in Mount Kenya watu huwa hawana viongozi wawili. Mtu mmoja akishaenda juu, sheria ya Mount Kenya ni kwamba kila mtu mwingine amfuate, amsupport, ampatie support. Wakati Kibaki alikuwa rais, some people like Martha Karua were very popular, na bado watu wa Mount Kenya hawajai msamehe. Wakati alipewa kiti ya Minister of Justice na akaikataa ati kwa sababu she was not happy with Kibaki. Tulikuwa na Martha Karua, not Martha Karua, Wangari Maathai, very popular. Watu wenye hata most of the time hawakuanga na pingamizi, hata hawakuwa wanafanya campaign sana. Walikuwa naenda almost free bila mtu wa kuwapinga because they were very strong. Lakini wakati walifanya mistake ya kupigana na Kibaki kidogo tu, hadi leo na Kibaki hadi alikufa, Martha Karua hajawahi regain her political position. So ile division unasema iko, unaangalia hivyo kwa sababu unaona viongozi, lakini huko chini mashinani wamejua chenye wamenyamazia, wanangojea sasa Ruto 2027 waone atakuja kusema nini. Na utaniambia, maana nitakuwa hapa tu. So ukisema kuna mgawanyiko, mimi nakuambia hiyo mgawanyiko haiko. Finally mimi nataka kusema hivi, ninataka kuwarudisha tu kidogo tu kwa Biblia. Kuna mtu Yesu aliponya macho ikaona. That is in the book of John 9 verse 24. So the Pharisees summoned the man who had been bribed. Na wakamwambia, wewe tukuza Mungu. Alafu wakamwambia, we know this man is a sinner. They were referring to Jesus. Wewe tukuza Mungu kwa sababu macho yako imeona, lakini tunajua huyu jamaa, huyu Yesu, he is a sinner. Wakamuuliza, what do you have to say about this man? Because we know he is a sinner. But the bright man replied, whether he is a sinner or not, I don't know. One thing I do know, I was bright, but now I see. What I want to tell Kenyans, and this is my testimony, whether Rigathi Gachagua is tribal, whether Rigathi Gachagua is corrupt, he is all those bad things people are saying, whether he is those things or not, myself, I don't know. Because I haven't seen any evidence that has been proved beyond reasonable doubt. What I know is that 2 months ago, we lost our mom. I didn't see any other politician. We are a small family, and not very strong, not very rich like these politicians. But the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya got a chance to come to our family to mourn with us. I will forever appreciate him for that. So whether people will say he is bad or not, for me, I know he is a humble man. I know that he can get time to visit you and to mourn together with you, and also to listen to your grievances when you have them. That is the kind of a man we are talking about. Even those I campaigned for vigorously, some of them had even Zoom meetings, like Kimani wa Matagi. He never appeared. So when I say this guy, there is nothing people can say to stop me from supporting him. It is because I know him as a humble man by the fact that he came on that even without being supported. Thank you. God bless you. I think Ken Nyagaka, Mzalendo, many other comment section, we have had a very, very wonderful time. Remember to subscribe to us 24. Yes, Ken Nyagaka.
Mimi nataka kuambia kwamba that's a very good experience. I went through that experience early this year. I wanted to call you to officiate in as far as the church is concerned, but otherwise, I will tell you that personally. Lakini hiyo huyu nani Gachagua, to some of us is very dear. Not on a personal level like ya kwako. For us, seeing what he has done and what he has said, that's very true. Mzalendo, you said that what did you say, Mzalendo? You said you alluded the fact that we will support somebody because he's from our tribe. My friend, Mzalendo, the person who was agreed with because he was from our tribe, the Musenya Chai. And after that, all these characters that you tell me will never qualify, will never rise up to the argument Nyachai was giving. Now you mtoto anaitwa Morara Kebaso is making a very good argument. It's not because he's from my tribe. I don't like Matiang'i, I don't agree with him. He's stupid. He's a nutcase. Anafuata huyu Bukulo ya Kenyatta kama mwanamke. I mean, wacha nikwambie Mzalendo, don't really argue that we argue or we say something because somebody is from our tribe. Mimi hata kumaliza shule, wacha nikuambie nani Jeff, when I finished school, I was in Roland. Mama akaja kunitafuta huko na gari ya polisi. So I was in my 20s or 15s or whatever. And that argument I would make today, ya kwamba it's not your tribe, it's what you believe in, it's what your heart and where you are going. Hiyo ndio mimi nakwambia mzalendo. Ule mtu nilikubaliana na yeye long time ni Mzee Chacha, and we can go to those debates in ngumu sana. Kina Nyona, kina Buya, I would talk to them like they were my brothers, like I was young, very much younger than them. But huyu nani Morara is touching us in a very bad place. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Nyagata. I just want to recognize those who have been together with us. Awesome, you are just awesome. Thank you so much for being together with us. We don't take it for granted. The Gypsy Corner, thank you so much. You have always been there to support us, to study with us, and also to put down your comment. God bless you and God do you good. I want to read some of your comments. And Awesome had to say Gachagua should not have waited to be impeached. He should have resigned early, then campaign against his boss in 2027 if he felt he was more popular. Awesome also said at Penny Nyagaka, did you listen to Gachagua when he started making press conference address after the president, when the country was in crisis with the Gen Zs? That one we talked about it. Awesome also said exactly. Let's listen to him making the address in Mombasa. I also continue to say, surely he come a very popular person. Suddenly he is hated by 281 MPs. There must be something wrong somewhere. Awesome. If the Senate decides to rescue Gachagua, this country will be in crisis until 2027. To me, I don't think the president and the 281 MPs will be comfortable working with him. He has to go. Awesome also says Morara is an upcoming leader, but overhyping him is not good. Let him polish himself first, maybe 2045. Awesome. Jeff Gachagua is a billionaire. Why did he not buy them? He only needed just a few. Awesome. If Gachagua, a well-polished politician, can be impeached with his billions, how about Morara, who depends on donations? Gypsy Corner is saying, no one is safe at the moment. It's anyone's game if Raila doesn't win the AU chair. But why do our constitution keep changing to suit some individuals? Gibbs Corner is telling us to look beyond Ruto. Raila is active behind the scene. Yeah, those are some of your comments. Thank you so much, all of you. God bless you and God do you good. Let's meet tomorrow at the same place, same time, Africa 24. Remember to subscribe to Africa 24. Make Africa 24 your home. If you are looking for a job, I said we have 2 positions for clinical officers, 2 positions for nurses, and 1 position for a pharmacist and 1 position for lab technician. My email is jefmburu@gmail.com. Those who are looking to travel to outside the country also use the same email, talk to me, and I'll try to help you where I can. I know most people use a lot of money, some of them 2 million, and others 1 million, others 800,000 shillings to go to Canada. When you talk to me, I'll connect you. I will not get your money, but I'll show you what you are supposed to do so that nobody takes advantage over you. And that way, we as Africa 24 will be trying to help you by connecting you to your destination and also helping you to get that job. And if you are there, you are an employer, also reach out to us so that we can connect you to that potential employee, and that will be very good. God bless you. God do you good. And that marks the end of our show. I don't know if Mzalendo, you are able to end the show on your side. If not,
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Buru. Thank you so much, Buru. That was awesome. And of course, Mzalendo, Penny Nyagaka in the
dakika moja Boni kabla umalize show. Mburu, can you send me the details? We do an advert for that.
Yes, and I want us to be having immigration show. We're gonna fix the time. I wasn't prepared. Now I am more than ready for that. I'll send you the details. We do that, then we can be having a show for that, so that we can help more people. And also, we're gonna be having the HR corner, where we're gonna connecting employers with employees. God bless you. God do you good. Bonnie.
Yeah, I was saying that thank you so much. Thank you, Mzalendo, in the comment section there, those who have been active for the last 3 hours. Sorry for today. I'll be back with my video here. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, you can go there, like, comment, and subscribe to Afrique24. And of course, as Buru has said that we are having some of the vacancies here for clinicians, lab technicians, and also pharmacists. So if you're qualified and you're following Afrique24, you send the email, and of course, Mzalendo is going to give us the advert on it. I will always appreciate our followers for always giving us company. Penny Nyagaka, you are a good man, you'll go to heaven. Nowadays, I'll be sending the link directly to your WhatsApp so that we can have you in our studios. And to say thank you so much for having us today. It was fantastic show. Gibbs Icona, you are a good man, you'll go to heaven. True, same too. Awesome. Thank you so much, Buru. And that was awesome too. Same place, same time here in Afrique 24.